Hi everybody, this is Chuck from Presscheck Training and Consulting. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about dump pouches, what they're used for, and the requirement for a dump pouch, and kind of how that drives into your equipment selection, your needs, and why the dump pouch design is pretty important. First off, I think that we kind of conflate a dump pouch as an administrative range admin pocket to an actual need to secure and retain stuff that did not have a dedicated pouch when you went out on a mission. If you're using a dump pouch to retain partially loaded magazines after a TAC reload or something like that, I would probably submit to you that there's other ways to do that. In my entire time in the Department of Defense, I never once deployed to combat with a dump pouch anywhere on any of my gear, ever. And I still managed to retain magazines or not, because they weren't worth dying over depending on the circumstance. So primarily, the stuff that you see people put a lot into dump pouches, I use the cargo pockets that are on my gear for. But if a dump pouch is available, why wouldn't you use it? This gets us into a subject that I'm very, very emotional about, which is snag hazards when worn on your gear. A lot of the conventional dump pouch designs are very rigid in the top because they don't want the pouch to collapse on you, and they want you to be able to reach back and access that dump pouch without having to look and put something into the dump pouch that will remain in the dump pouch with this thing in an open position. The problem with that is that now you have a stiffened loop that is on the back of your gear. So I've got a war belt here, and this is something that I've seen a lot, which is guys had to carry extra restraints in an LE environment for riot control, and then they left their kit kind of set up that way and went back to doing SWAT operations or whatever. So right here we have a duty belt that is a chalk belt. I've got a locking carabiner, also a tested and load rated piece of life-saving equipment. And then I have flexible restraints, which are designed by the manufacturer to be nearly unbreakable so that human beings cannot break out of their cuffs. Where's the point of failure anywhere in this chain? We take this type of snag hazard and we incorporate in handled swivel doorknobs, which are now the new construction standard because of the Americans with Disability Act. Round doorknobs are going the way of the dodo here in the United States. And in the future, you will see more and more of those horizontal swivel-handled doorknobs. The amount of failed breaches that I have witnessed personally during training operations with military and law enforcement organizations where the number one man rides a door that has a return on it and has to physically push the door open and has that hook catch on a piece of their equipment. What's supposed to give? There's nothing. There's nothing here that can give, and the only way to get this off is to back up and take it off of the doorknob. This could also be the opening of a dump pouch. Your dump pouch could get caught on that same doorknob, and now you have the force of the number 2, the number 3, whomever's trying to dump in that room in a dynamic environment, and they're pushing you further and further away from being able to unhook yourself, and this can lead to an absolute breach failure when you're trying to move through the threshold and into the room. So if I do wear restraints, or when I did wear restraints professionally in this manner, I used heavy-duty rubber bands which were girth hitched to the restraint, and then I would put them on some type of carabiner device. Now, if I need to employ this restraint, I can reach back, grab it, and I can pull it straight off of the carabiner until it breaks, and then deploy my double cuffs in the traditional manner. So when you see this pet peeve of mine, think about a dump pouch and how it is opened, how it stays open, and do you have the ability to retain it? If I were to carry some type of dump bag or SSE bag on my gear, the number one requirement that it absolutely has to have is the ability to be stowed when not in use. So if I do have an operational requirement to have this piece of kit on my gear, I want it to have the minimum snag profile possible when not in active use. Blue Force Gear has got a line of pouches based on your needs. So we have the medium dump pouch here, and it's the same one that is located on this one in multicam. It is your fish trap design, so you stick the mag in there, it catches, and then it won't fall back out in the event that you've got to move around or whatever. So it's got water holes at the bottom for drainage, and stows very, very easily with a Velcro tab. Mounts with your Ultra Comp Molle webbing to go in the palace loops. The second item that they have a much more low profile design, and these are what I call SSE bags. So they're more used for like securing a piece of evidence and keeping it on your person. Maybe I'm in an environment where you've got an active shooter or more than one active shooter or whatever, and shoot a suspect down, and there's a pistol that they had, and we're going to leave this room and continue to go to the sound of the guns. There's still people that need to be protected or whatever, so we're going to secure that firearm and stick it in that pouch so that somebody else can't come into that room and get access to that weapon. That would be an example of what an SSE bag would be good for. So this comes in two configurations. We've got the 10-speed Molle and the 10-speed belt variants. On all Blue Force Gear stuff, if it is a belt variant, you're going to have this type of hook and loop or Velcro that will go around a belt loop, and the belt does not have to have laser cut or PALS webbing compatibility on it. So I can stick this on a leather belt, I can stick this on a duty belt, and go ahead and tab it up. This pouch also comes with a variant that has your traditional Molle webbing to route through the PALS channels on the back of the belt here. So when you deploy the pouch, it comes out. This is a much more lightweight design, but it does not have any stiffening at the top. So you're going to have to fish your hand in here to deposit whatever item you want. And then if you are worried about that item coming back out, we've got webbing here where we can cinch it down, and there's a barrel adapter, and now we can cinch it up and it moves. Downsides to a design like this, because it is a smaller, more low profile design and less rigid, if you have any type of weight or heft in here, this thing is going to bounce back and forth when you are running or moving around. If you have to do a hard transition with your weapon, whatever heft or mass you have in here is going to go ahead and continue on, and that can absolutely give you a little bit of jarring in your wobble zone of your sight picture if you're doing a target to target transition. This is another reason why I don't like carrying a lot of weight in a dump pouch when I'm on the range. It affects my ability to drive the gun and then park the dot where I need to when I get where I'm going to my next target. Other downsides are that it does not have that stiffened hoop design here on top, so you might have to fish this thing open with your fingertips. Once you get it in there, like I said, you can tighten it up and it will remain secure inside of the pouch. So positive sides, absolutely lightweight, not a lot of material, no stiffening, low profile, completely stowed up, zero snag hazard when it's in its carrying configuration. Downside, it's not going to serve as an admin pouch on your range gear as effectively as a larger, more durable dump pouch design. So I really think that the dump pouch medium kind of is a good middle of the road compromise. It gives you a good amount of rigidity and a bunch of retention when it's deployed out that you would get from some of the older, larger, dedicated belt dump pouch designs. If you would like to purchase any of these Blue Force Gear items, they're available on blueforcegear.com as well as other instructional and information material.